G'day, new starters. Well, here we are again, back after a couple of weeks' break. That break, of course, was forced onto us by the fact that we were moving home. And during those 2 weeks, apart from all the effort that we had to go through, we did not have internet connection. But here we are, ready to continue the journey. During that move, we tried to plan for everything that we could think of. And we did a pretty good job, I think, of covering all of our bases. But as a result of the lifting of many heavy boxes and at one point falling off a ladder, I've hurt my back. And it actually happened a couple of days after the move was finished. But I think that process kind of weakened my back, and I felt a twinge at one point, which has led to a growing sense of pain and difficulty moving at points. But anyway, I'll get through it and it'll be okay. But it is interesting, or at least it's a reminder to me of how much of our lives are not as we plan. We set out to reach certain goals, to achieve certain things. We have certain expectations of the way those things will unfold. But almost always and invariably, things happen that we don't anticipate, and they shift and change our plans. So it's very important for us to not be too rigid in the way we see our lives and our expectations of what will happen. And very, very specifically, it is true in dealing with God's relationship with us, that as we journey through life, God is going to continuously surprise us with opportunities to see His work at hand. And that's exactly the situation in the 7th chapter of John. This chapter John has set up as the beginning of the conflict between religious leaders of the day and Jesus. And the language he uses there very clearly is laying the groundwork for the ultimate conflict that will come, that will lead to Jesus' crucifixion. But it's interesting in this chapter, at least on 2 or 3 occasions, the Pharisees say that the reason that they don't believe that Jesus could be the Messiah is that he comes from Galilee. It doesn't fit their worldview. It doesn't fit their frame of understanding that Jesus or the Messiah could, in fact, come from a place that is as socioeconomically ostracized or apart from the acceptable places as Galilee is. It's just not in their imagination that those things can happen. And it's very, very clear message that while Jesus ended up fulfilling all of the prophecies of the Old Testament, they could not see that which was right before their eyes regarding his coming, and they were unable to see it. Now, I'm sure that they were unable to see it primarily because of their investment of their own sense of who they were in the structure that existed for them. But they could not get past their own perceptions of how the Messiah should come in order to see what God was doing before their very eyes. And so it's a reminder to us that regardless of what happens in our lives, whether it's good or bad, we shouldn't discount the fact that this very thing that is unfolding before us may actually contain within it the opportunity to see God work in wonderful and glorious ways. In fact, the truth is, God will always work that way. So let's not be surprised or scared or concerned when life begins to unfold in a way different from how we had planned, because it's not taking God by surprise at all, nor is it limiting His power to reveal His love and glory in that situation.